How's it going, everyone? Kelly Bro here again, bringing you a gear update. I think this might be the first time that I've shown you my gear sets, and I've been hard at it the last couple days, farming up Aphrodite and Yevgeny. With it being Christmas in July, I was also able to open up a few packs of the winter, whatever they're called, like the winter wonder packs for the energy set. So yeah, we pretty much have them all topped off, and let's get to it. So to start off, this is my main set, primarily for bosses. It's like the good overall set. It's got good block, good resistance, and really good damage. But to go off the items, we have full Malistaire set. So we got the cowl, the tunic, and the boots, per usual. For the wand, we have the Soothsayer staff. It's a level 100 version. If I wanted to be very nitpicky about it, I could go for the 110 version, but it doesn't give me a whole lot of extra stuff, so we'll just keep it at the 100 for now. You'll notice that I have two Spirit of Darkmoor's Thorns. This one that I have equipped is my damage one. As you can see, it's got some piercing jewels on there and an intensify maycast, so it's pretty decent to get through some boss battles. Amulets, Jewel of the Shadow Web from Morganth. 5% stun resist on that, which is, it hasn't saved me yet, but I'm sure that when it does, it'll be a very great moment. Ring of the Usurper, and this is one of the drops that we just got this week. As you can see, I have affixed a max health on it, a pierce, and another 5% stun resistance. And, it's just a really good overall ring. It's much better than the other one I was using, which was the Morganth ring. This one is much better. Gives me, although I do lose the universal block rating, block is kind of becoming outrated, so sacrificing that for a lot of extra health and some extra damage is pretty good. Now for my pet. So Scooter is my current damage and tanking pet. As you can see here, he's got 9% defense, 3 strength percentages, and fairy and unicorn. We'll talk about my tank set later, but pretty much I want to make another pet for tanking, but this one pretty much does everything for me at the moment. And my solo deck is a Rasputin deck with max health on it. Again, it just really helps getting through the boss fights, especially with some block rating and some crit rating, and it's really good overall. So these are the total numbers for this set. Again, this is my solo boss set. Nearly 7,000 health, which is really good. Way too much mana. Probably could just get by with 150 mana just fine. And 116 damage, which is really good, especially for life. This is about as much as I can get, unless, of course, on my pet I could get a few extra percentages, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Resistance is 44% across the board, and accuracy is 16%, which is definitely very good, because that means including the Pigsy spell, that means I can cast everything at 100%, along with Lamassu and Wings of Garbage. I hate that spell so much. But anyways, we have 400 crit rating, which is 25%, as you see there. We'll get into my next set, which is slightly better crit rating, but it sacrifices some block, which it currently is 30%, which is pretty decent. I don't block too often, obviously, because it's only 30%, but I block often enough to stay alive for the entire fight. Lastly, 27% piercing, which is extremely good, especially when someone puts up a tower shield. 10% stun resist. Hasn't saved me yet, but I'm sure, like I said earlier, it'll save me in a very opportune moment. and 24 out, 24 in healing. So that's really good for the solos. Pip conversion I'm probably not going to use until it gets a little more consistent, or of course if they make a really OP set again. Pip conversion just doesn't really have my eye quite yet, so we'll hold off from that until a later date. 113% power pips, which is a little bit overkill, but might as well. And 5% shadow pips, which is pretty much as good as it gets at the moment. And hopefully it goes up a little further, because shadow pips right now are far and few between. These are my transmogs. My transmogs for both of my solo sets are the same. I have a Widow's Bewitching Hat, which you need to farm for. It's no trade, no auction. I'm pretty sure it's no trade, no auction. I haven't been able to find it in the bazaar the last couple days. But my robe is an O'Leary's vestment, which you can definitely get at the bazaar. And my boots are Taskmaster foot wraps, which are also bought in the bazaar. My blade here is Redwind's Viridian Blade, which again is no trade, no auction, and you have to get it at the Drake Hatchery in Dragonspire. So moving on to my second set, as you saw there, my boots flashed. The only difference between my solo boss set and my solo mob set are the boots. So as for my solo boss set, I had Undying Malastare boots, and for my solo mob set, I have the Time Warden shoes, which is dropped from the Cyclops boss inside of the Sands of Time. And I cannot tell you how many times I had to kill that thing for it to drop these boots. Absolutely ridiculous, but we got there in the end, and it's pretty decent. So it gives me just about 100 more crit rating. I sacrificed the block and a tiny bit of accuracy, but nothing too bad. I gain a ton of health, so if I drink a potion, or actually we'll see it when we go into the character stats, you'll see how much I get. It also gives us 1 more percentage of Shadow Pip and a couple extra damage points. So like I said, that's the only difference between this set, and these are my stats with it. 118 damage, 44 resistance still, sacrifice a tiny bit of accuracy, gain a lot of crit rating. So with just 100 crit rating points, I gain just about, what was it, like 15 percentage points, so that's really good. Definitely helps me crit a little more, especially on those mob fights. Block rating goes down a ton, but at the same time, you're not really going to need block rating when fighting mobs, because they're garbage anyways. Rounds are usually over or fights are usually over in about 3 or 4 rounds anyways. Armor piercing is still around 27 like it was earlier, but obviously just down a little bit. Healing is also the same. Power pips drops 10% because my boots do not have the 10% that I got like the Malastare set. And definitely the health goes up a ton. I think it's just about, it's nearly 600 points, right? Yeah, so 534 points it goes up by, and it takes me all the way up to about 7,500. So that's really decent. And I've used this set just a couple times to do some mob fights inside of Mirage, which we definitely have to get to, doing all those badges, and it works pretty well. I've crit a few times already, and doesn't seem like it's letting me down too much. Moving on to my third set. Hello. There we go. Now my pet's changed, and I've got all new gear. This is a really boss set. It's my energy set. We got full snowdrifters. So right here, plus 24 max energy, rather. 28. 24 again. The wand, plus 12, is fantastic. My Athame, I was farming Aphrodite the last couple days, and I got the Athame and ring, so definitely got some good rolls on that. Got a plus 5 max jewel on it as well, which is extremely good. The necklace, pretty much any old necklace that has a tier slot will accept the energy jewels. My ring, again, is Aphrodite's band with plus 5 energy jewel on it. And my pet is definitely a boss. Prince Sydney has 8 plus max with a 20 plus max jewel on him. So that's extremely good, and definitely helps me catch some fish when I'm just bored out of my mind from fighting. And the deck is my farming deck, adequately named, and the drum total of all that is 269 energy, which is one short of max. I will be with you in just a second, my man. So 270 max energy is as high as you can get, and like I said, the amulet I have is just one short of that. Now on to my final set, my fourth set. We're back to Scooter for the pet, and we've got some decorative outfits. So we've got a Jade Hood, level 100 version. There's no real need to go for the 110 version because you get the same amount of resistance, just with a tiny bit of extra health. Cool Rider's gear, definitely better than the Jade Robe, because you get so much more health than the Jade Robe, along with a ton more block. Losing, I think it's only like 6 or 7% on the resistance, is definitely overpowered by how much health you get. Jade Boots, again, just a level 100 version. Staff of the Subjugator, definitely just really good for overall healing. I'm actually curious as to see how much outgoing I have now that I have another Athame. So I just got this today, my second Darkmoor's Thorn Athame. As you see, the one on the right is my damage Thorn, and my healing Thorn is on the left. Arcanum, yes, I'm sorry. But I just got this today, I fixed it, so it would be used for my tank set. I've got a Rasputin Charm for my necklace. It's got really good block and resistance, along with some square slots for incoming heals. My ring is the Dying Star ring from Chrysalis. It's got 6 incoming heal for the jewel. My pet, as you saw before, I really want to get a pet that has Proof and Defy on it, probably Fairy, Unicorn, and some of the third slot, and then probably for the jewel, probably have an outgoing heal jewel. No idea where to get those, but I'm sure I could farm for them somewhere. And then my healer deck has 11% accuracy on it, which definitely helps bust out those pigsies. Because if I didn't have that 12% on the Darkmoor, then 11% is not enough to make that 100% on the Pigsy or the Lamasu if I ever need it. And my overall stats for this, 6,600 health, which is extremely good, especially when you have 71% resistance across the board with 23 accuracy. All this is pretty much the same. Crit rating is in the toilet, 1%, awesome. And block rating is through the roof, nearly 50%, which is really, really good. Ooh, 84% outgoing, that's pretty decent. And 55 in, alright, I'll take that. Definitely take that. Power pips, 97%. I mean, at 97%, you're gonna see a shadow, not a shadow pip. Power pip pretty much every round anyways, so it's not too bad. And moving forward, pretty much the only things that I want to go for right now, I'm missing one life spell, and it's half the reason why I've been farming Aphrodite. I really want to get Sacred Charge, which is dropped by Aphrodite at some ridiculously low rate, which kind of makes me a little upset. But whatever, we'll farm it, and we'll eventually get it. I also want to get, like I said, the tank pet, Max Fishing, which I think is level 12. I'm level 11 right now. I've caught all the fish, so something that will really be a grind is getting from level 11 to level 12, because the XP rates after you catch fish are just ridiculously low, so that'll definitely be a struggle. I also want to see if I can max out Monstrology. The max rank is 22, and there's definitely a ton of... Is it T? It is. There's definitely a ton of monsters to find. I've obviously come nowhere near getting all of them, but I'm sure through grinding we will get there in the end. That's essentially it. That is my progress video and my goals in the future. Probably the most grinding goal is to get all of these badges. To note on badges, I do not do PvP, so you'll never see those in here or anywhere on my character. I don't do PvP at all, so unfortunately we're gonna have to miss out on all those, but we'll have all these lovely badges to get as well, especially all the Polaris garbage badges. Definitely need some work on those, but we'll get there in the end. And until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and have a good night.